Good morning, everyone. We're back and got a special treat today. What we're going to do is, where are my manners? I'm Dr. Manny St. Victor. I'm a cognitive neuroscientist. I'm into personality and mindfulness and living non-pathologically. And my other brain over here at Hypnotic Thoughts is Paul Ramsey.
Who says that? Who says I'm into living non-pathologically?
Someone who's seen a lot of pathological stuff. When you see someone in a box chewing on the wall, you're like, I'm into not doing what is he chewing on the wall? Yeah, I want to not do that. Well, that's pathological behavior. I want to live non-pathologically.
All right, that's fair.
It's the anti-bucket list of living.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Today, special treat. I get to ask you questions about hypnosis, and I'm talking about the real questions, stuff that people really want to know. Because by and large, when you ask someone, well, in my experience, when I've had questions about hypnosis for people, I've had the misfortune of meeting people who don't necessarily know hypnosis beyond stage hypnosis. And one of the things that I find impressive about your passion for it is that the work that you do helping people, in addition to stage hypnosis, and the fact that you said you see 1,500, you hypnotize 1,500 people a year, right?
I do. Most of those are in stage shows, though.
Okay.
I do not hypnotize 1,500 people individually in my office.
Okay, but you have an office where you do change work with people. To me, that's the key difference. Because the empowering nature of that goes beyond entertainment. It goes to life-changing stuff. So a lot of times, if I'll ask a hypnotist a question, they'll give me what I consider to be a stage answer. Yeah, the show must go on type stuff, and that causes my eye to twitch real funny. I'm like, Mama said, if you don't have anything good to say, thank you for helping me. And from the second we met, your interest in Erickson's work and the fact that you have a knowledge of it that goes way deeper to impacting people in day-to-day life, I love that. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this stuff.
Cool. All right, let's do it. Go. Yeah.
Question number one. So how do you explain hypnosis to people? What is that?
Well, honestly, Manny, it's one of the hardest things about what I do, because there's a healthy, raging debate still about what hypnosis is and what it isn't. And so, I'll give you my answer. There will be people who will watch this and they'll go, no, that's wrong. Okay, but from everything I've seen and everything I've experienced, hypnosis is a dissociative state. There's some people who right off they go, the first thing most people tend to do when they're debating it is is it a state or is it not a state?
Okay.
And I think in order to get into that, sometimes that feels like it's just debating semantics.
Okay.
And I get what they're trying to do in terms of trying to have a deeper understanding, but for me, I'm like, look, you go through your day in different levels of brain activity, and some of them you could say are like hypnosis, but for what we're really talking about doing the work with people, you're trying your best to help people create a state that is different than how they spend most of their day. So I'm like, so for the purpose of being productive, can't we just say it's a state?
Yeah. Now, when you say state, are we talking state of consciousness? People get those around, but it's
a conscious state.
Okay.
A shifted state in which you are still conscious, but you have shifted your brainwave activity to some extent. It can be to different extents. And that's part of where the people who argue against it being a state, well, they go, well, your brain activity's shifting all day long anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but that's happening completely effortlessly.
Yeah.
So if we lead people there, can't we say we're leading them somewhere, and that somewhere is hypnosis?
Yeah.
So I really, from what I observe in people, I think you know, if you're in a meeting at work or you're in a class at school and you get bored and you go into a daydream,
Mhm.
now you tell me, you're the neuroscientist, isn't that on one very light and harmless level of dissociation?
Oh yeah, you're
Right.
you're dissociated, and when you go to that daydream, we call that default mode network, like DMN. You know, it is task independent thinking. You are blowing bubbles in your head.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, what I believe is that we evolved to do that, to get a break, right?
Mhm.
To get a break in our day, to let the brain rest, to shift
Yeah.
gears a little bit. And then hypnosis is just a way of purposefully activating that level. And then should you choose to do something more task specific with it once you've created it, should you choose to take it to a more focused, or what some people would call an even deeper level, I'm like, depth is kind of a weird word, right? Because you're like, the mind is not a swimming pool. You can't, you know, but that's what we tend to do is we talk about depth. I'm like, then okay, then you can, you know, you can talk about that aspect of it. But I think as a baseline, you dissociate. You kind of leave the world a little bit, just like when you're on a highway and you get what we call highway hypnosis.
Yeah.
You know, you're conscious and you're still keeping the car between the lines, but you are not fully present in that activity anymore. You drift away and you dissociate.
Yeah.
And that's really what we do with people when we help them get into hypnosis.
Cool. Now, so based off that definition, what do you wish that people knew? What do you wish that they understood about hypnosis on an intuitive level that you don't feel like they're getting now?
That based on everything we just said, that it's completely natural, that your brain is built for this. And what abounds is this fear that we are somehow meddling with the mind, that we are creating an unnatural experience or an unnatural state. And it's like, look, we're just activating what's been there all along, your ability to create this dissociative state. And then how we choose to use it is up to what's in the best interest of the person, the client, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's completely natural, and I know where it comes from. It's from movies and TV, and always these dramatized representations of what it's like to be hypnotized and what happens when you get hypnotized. And always it's presented in a way of like, well, that's not natural, that's nefarious, or that's self-serving or wrong somehow. It's completely natural, normal, safe, healthy, effective. And so that's the battle that I constantly fight with people, is trying to get them to understand that.
Okay, so now beyond normal and natural, what's the value? What do you see as the value of hypnosis? Why?
Two things. That's a great question. Two things. First of all, the first value is that it works. That it's not perfect. It's not a magic bullet. The efficacy of hypnosis is largely dependent on the practitioner's ability to choose the right strategy with a client while they're in hypnosis. Like, what's the best way for me to help them create change? But it does work when you take the right approach. And the second really important thing that goes right with that is it works fast. And that's the part that, we live in this world where people want things fixed really fast. They want everything fast, right? They want their food fast, and they want their music downloaded instantly. I can't go to the store and buy a cassette or a CD anymore. I gotta stream it fast right over, everything right now. And we can't say that hypnosis can be that fast of like right now, but in some cases, nail biting. I can never guarantee my clients, but if most of my clients, if you come to me and your fingers are all chewed up and you want to have prettier, less cracked, bleeding, painful fingers, most of my clients, I can take care of that in one session, one hour session.
Yeah. So, why isn't hypnosis used by more people then?
Because they're afraid. First of all, they're afraid of their peripheral fears. Really, is they're afraid that in order to go to the hypnotist and get the hypnosis that will address this one thing, that there might be a peripheral bad thing that comes out of it, like I might lose control of myself somehow. I might tell a deep, dark secret that I don't want anyone to know about.
Where are the bodies? Sorry.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And so they're nervous about that. And so, again, part of the process for me is always explaining to people that your experience, you define the context of your experience. If you come here to quit chewing your fingernails, you know that's what you came here for. So you're going to be focused in that. You didn't come here to tell me about the affair that you're having. And I'm not asking about that kind of stuff. People are very nervous about those kinds of things, though. So it's usually stuff like that. And then sometimes it's cultural stuff. Some religious subgroups believe that getting hypnotized opens you up to be possessed by the devil, or some kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's stuff like that. Always, though, Manny, always related to fear somehow.
Okay.
Being afraid that if I do this, I might be putting myself up for this other bad thing. And it gets in their way.
Now, another fear that, and this is one that I had initially when I first started studying various psychoses and treatments and came across hypnosis, there's the fear of, what if I'm not a good subject? What if I try it and it doesn't work for me? What does that say about me? Am I?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So I guess the question to that one is, what makes for a good subject, a good hypnosis subject?
Really, what I have found is the biggest key is expectation.
Okay.
You have a healthy, positive, optimistic expectation that doing this will do something great for you. So, if you're emotionally invested in a good outcome, you're going to be fantastic. If you are too busy being afraid of failing or whatever else it is, and you don't have that strong positive expectation, your odds go down precipitously. Okay. Now, the funny thing is you can even technically be in the middle. And what I mean by that is, I've had people come to me and they aren't afraid at all. They have no fear. They just don't really believe in hypnosis. But they've tried everything else.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, what can it hurt? And they really are like, the way they're just like, meh, And because they don't have the fear and stuff, they actually do quite well.
That's awesome.
Because they want to achieve the change still. They have that expectation of, I really wish I could have a good outcome. I just don't know if hypnosis is going to do any. They kind of have, and they do great. It's the people that are afraid, and if it's not afraid of hypnosis, it's the people who are afraid of what achieving that change would mean for some other aspect of their life. So
afraid of success.
Yeah. So if I let go of my pain,
yeah,
I got to go back to work. Or if I let go of my smoking, then I don't have my one guilty pleasure anymore, which means I don't get to have my pleasure. Like the fear of loss somehow.
Yeah. That's fascinating. It brings up, with chronic illness patients who have been chronically or chronic pain patients who have been chronically in pain, when they find that they're able to get rid of that pain, the person almost feels as if they lose a part of their identity.
Yeah.
Every week my kids used to come check on me for this pain, and you're telling me that through mindfulness and meditation I can decrease the pain where I don't need people checking on me every week.
Right.
What if they didn't like coming to see me every week and suddenly they stop? And you see this person willing themselves away from the health.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And that happens a lot. It happens a lot. And it makes me very sad, because I think, you just need to reframe that and be like, but they love you. That's why they come to check on you.
Yeah. Because that's the most important part. Is like you know you're actually inside scared they don't love you, and they do, and you're depriving yourself of that pleasure of realizing that they love you because you're scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fear is powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I think that's a great start. I've managed to get a lot of hypnosis information and goodness out of you. So I'm looking forward to us diving into the science of hypnosis, combining it with the science of mindfulness. And I guess this is a good time to remind everyone that if you didn't catch last week's episode, we went into some mindfulness stuff, discussed what is mindfulness. So where can they learn more about hypnosis?
Well, one way they can learn more about hypnosis is to keep coming back here, because you and I are going to keep talking about that. You know, it's not the only thing we're going to talk about, but it's not going away. We're going to keep talking about how hypnosis can help people and break it down here, you know, how it connects with mindfulness and neurology and all that stuff. So that's going to be really fun. If they want to learn about if they really want to learn about hypnosis, like they want to learn self-hypnosis or they want to learn to be a hypnotist, I teach people hypnotism at besthypnosistraining.com, and I post fun stuff at my Google+, you know, stuff from my shows, interesting research and articles about hypnosis. So if you're more of a social media type person, you can follow me at Google+. If you're looking for more serious training, I would say besthypnosistraining.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this journey. I'll be coming up with questions in my sleep, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is the really cool thing I think now is now I feel like we're moving to this part where we're getting closer and closer to really connecting what you do and what I do, and really weaving that greater understanding, which is so missing in my world. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Likewise in my world.
Yeah, yeah. Sweet.
All right, Paul. Pleasure as always.
All right, Manny. Thanks so much.
Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, man.